Hello, 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 hello. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you're at in the world. Happy International Women's Day. Oh my gosh, March 8th. What an amazing day to celebrate all of us women all around the world. Now, if you've been following me over the past years, you've been seeing me going on this journey of her, this journey of her being healed, empowered, and resilient. Her story. That's what you saw kind of flipping through. That was the beginning of this existential movement that has really transcended uh, into just this whole new thing around the world. So, once again, this is International Women's History Day. It's also Women's History Month. And what I like to do every year is spotlight the wonderful ladies of Her Story and Her Story Too with my 25 days of her. So you're going to learn something over the next 25 days about these amazing women, where they're at now, what they're up to, what being in her story, what was it like for them? What was the most memorable thing that was for them being in this project? And then what was the impact? Yeah, what was the impact? So and as it's right now, it's 11:11, and that's an amazing number for me. So I'm glad that I just looked at the time and realized it's 11:11. So we are going to just celebrate and kind of go down memory lane with these amazing women. And I'm so excited that I have a couple of them that are going to be joining us live. How about that? But in the meantime, this is what got it kicked off. Her story. If I give you a background, look all these 25 amazing women, 25 amazing women in this book. If I were to tell you that this is something that I was running from, I almost didn't do this at all, at all. And if anybody out there has something, that's pressing on them and you're questioning, should you do this? I'm here to tell you, yes, you should, because you don't know what the outcome is going to be. It's going to be greater than what you're afraid of. And I know that was the case for me. Her story, literally around the world. Just most recently, let me just kind of count the ways. Since I said it was 11:11, well, now it's 11:13 now, but there's actually 11 international authors between the two, Her Story and Her Story Too. My bookends, right? Together overcoming obstacles, healed, empowered, resilient. So let me count the ways. We have Alex from the Bahamas, Alexandria rather, from the Bahamas. We have Haley from the UK. We have Marina from Argentina. We have Melinda from Barbados. We have Risa from the Philippines, now residing in Scotland. We have Alana, also from Barbados. We have Candace from Guyana, now residing in Canada. We have Gladwell from Kenya. We have Maura from New Zealand. We have Sarah, also from the UK. And then we have Shirley from Hong Kong. This is just, it blows my mind. It really blows my mind when you set an intention and God guides you. Because people will ask me, how did you get to know all these women? And I say, God just sent them. Listen. And speaking of ones that God just sends, we talked about we have two amazing queens from Barbados, one from Her Story and one in Her Story Too. But we're going to talk to the one we're going to bring to the stage right now. If you're ready, are you ready? I'm going to see some thumbs up back there. You ready? Because I'm about to call you up. Okay, so none other than all the way from, and I got gigged on this by saying all the way, but it is all the way, right? No matter where you're at in the world, coming all the way from Barbados, I want to bring to the stage this woman who goes global now. She has changed her whole persona. She says Melinda goes global. So let's bring Melinda to the stage.
Hello.
Hello, hello, hello. Yes, we've
Hey.
been kind of kicking it backstage for the past, 30 minutes or so, just kind of remember. It seemed like I just saw you yesterday. I was just in Barbados. It
It
feels like
feels
yesterday. Seeing your smiling face. So listen, listen. I mean, happy International Women's Day to you.
thank you, and the same to you.
Yes, yes. See, what I've learned in the thank you so much. What I've learned in the pandemic is that a lot of times we are so confined to our area, but and with borders, right? But I've learned in the pandemic that we are truly without borders, truly without borders, right? Melinda goes global, right?
That's right.
Global. We just got finished talking about you just recently was in Dubai, right?
I was.
Yeah, tell everybody about the magical moment because you just lit up like when I talked about Dubai. You like
So I thought I would do something really nice. Oh, sorry. Hi, everyone. First of all, from the beautiful island of Barbados, you need to come. You need to come. It's a beautiful day outside. The sun is shining and the beaches are lovely. So, what's your excuse? And so I decided for my 40th birthday that I am going to go somewhere. I'm going to go somewhere where I've never been before. And it definitely pushed me beyond my comfort zone. First of all, I'm traveling by myself because I have not been on a solo trip this far. So I had to go from Barbados to England and then to Dubai. And I only had a week to do this. So my time was pretty much shortened. So I had to just go straight. I didn't take a couple days in England. I went straight from England to Dubai. It was a long trek because it was about 24 hours flight, basically. Me flying from Barbados to Dubai. And it was at a time where I felt a little bit, what's the word? I felt like I was lacking creativity and I needed to go somewhere else just to see sites in a different location. And the only reason I went was because my best friend lives and works there. But then also, I just thought that I wanted to just celebrate this major milestone in me reaching 40, which is really a blessing. And being there was really, really transformational. I know there's a lot portraying that it's a very expensive place and only the wealthy live there, but there are people who have, you know, can I say normal, normal pocketbooks. And there are actually people who drive normal vehicles, like the everyday vehicle, family vehicle, Toyota, and all those different things. Of course, you saw the G wagons and all of that, and that was quite inspirational. And there is a lot of architecture. There's a lot of forward movement. It's very progressive. And I had the opportunity to go up the tallest building in the world. I am afraid of heights, but my best friend took my hand and told me that we're going. And I'm like, what do you mean we're going? So here I am in the elevator, and we're going halfway up within, I think, about 60 seconds or 30 seconds, something like that. And when I got up there, it was just so wonderful to see the country from a different angle, and it is so critical. I think this is a teaching moment for me because sometimes you could be so bogged down by everything that is happening around you, but just being up at a higher position and seeing things from different perspectives. Those buildings that were down at ground level that I thought that were so big, they weren't so big anymore. So it was like a teaching moment for me, like, what I consider to be big isn't really that big or major or not something that I cannot overcome. But it's just important to have a a higher view, a higher perspective. So that was very transformational for me. And then also there was uh, uh, another exhibition that they had. It's called like a frame, like a picture frame. So on one side you see the Dubai that originally started, and it's not as developed. And then on the other side, you see Dubai fully developed, all the wonderful and beautiful buildings. So it's just a matter of, I really felt like at that point, it's like, although I'm standing in the middle of both sides, it's like there's a point where I had to move on from my past. I mean, yes, it's important to look at the past, but see the beautiful things and appreciate where you would have come from. I mean, that serves as a foundation, but then also I can look at what I could become, where I am going, you know? So it was just more than just going to Dubai. It was just really about receiving and getting a different sight and different things, and just to see that, you know, such a beautiful country which started like a desert could really be fully developed. So for me, it was just really life transforming experience for me.
Wow, 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 wow. So, and I think, I what I got from that, which was so beautiful, is that, you were able to say, I'm gonna do something different.
Yeah.
I'm gonna come out of my comfort zone.
Oh yeah.
So, where did that all of a sudden come from? To just now you're like, I think I'm just going to go, and I'm going to not only just go by myself, but I'm gonna take a 24-hour trip around the world, right? Come off of this little island, what appears to be a
Mhm.
little island, but it's really bigger, right? It's really big. See, our
Yes.
perception is that you're on this little teeny island. You're only
Yeah.
on the little teeny island if you put yourself there. Mm.
Yes, it is true.
Only if you put yourself there. So what? So okay. So that's some of the things, and we're gonna come back to we don't. Okay, no. So because let me go back to where I was going with that question.
Sure.
So there was a shift in your mindset. So
Mm.
talk about what created that shift, and if any of that had anything to do with being a part of her story.
Yes. Oh, well, even after being part of her story, I just realized that there's a lot that I could accomplish or a lot that I can get back to. Coming out of a marriage and everything, there were certain things that I still hadn't had a chance to discover and do. So much of the time being single, or can I say legally single, has been spent has been spent in really getting to know me and really seeing what it is that I am capable of doing. And I am someone who normally would like to play it safe, but I'm saying that if it is that I want to grow, if it is that I want to experience new things and push past my limitations, I just felt very strongly that, you know, that I, as a single person, I don't have to wait for someone to enjoy life. I don't have to wait on someone to have an abundant life and do these wonderful things. Why not make it an adventure for me this time and really cultivate this single lifestyle in that, you know, I'm doing all that I wanted to do on my bucket list now, and really just take time to see myself from a different perspective, but being putting myself in places which could challenge my mindset and challenge my thinking. Because sometimes I think we can become too comfortable being in a space that we are in. And then also when it comes to growing younger, can I say that? We can become stuck and think that we have arrived and know it all.
Mm-hmm.
But I am really embracing at this point. It's really about enjoying the life that you have and not waiting until you have everything together and to make it seem as though that only big things are worthy of a celebration,
Mm-hmm.
right? So my hitting 40 was big for me because there's certain things I didn't think that I was gonna bounce back from,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
But I just thought that I wanted to gift myself the opportunity and the experience of a lifetime of going somewhere where I've always dreamed of going, and I finally did it.
Yeah. Make it happen, right?
That's what
Make
we
it
do.
happen any by any means necessary. So those are some beautiful words, and that's what I'm hoping. This is what Women's History Month is about, which is every day, not just one day. We have this one day to celebrate internationally, but it's not just one day; it's every day. And one of the things that you said you just do the things that you dreamt of and just come out. I'm just going to keep going back to come out your comfort zone and just do it anyway, because look at the beauty that even to every time you talk about it, you just light up. Like, just think about, it's like, dang, if I should have went, or well, I couldn't go, or you made it happen. You
That's
made it
right.
happen, and you came. Talk about when you become fearless. One of my favorite things I like to say is when you become fearless, life becomes limitless. So
Ah,
guess what? Because you did that, I know you already know there's so many other things you can do. You can accomplish, like, I did this on my own. I traveled by myself.
mhm.
And I just kept going. I did the whole, and I just experienced, and I took in everything, the sights, the sounds, and to be able to say, you're able to be up at the toppest place and to look back and to see what it looked like. And then to look over and see the new developed and what that meant for you. That was more than just saying, oh, that's what it used to look like. Now this is what it is. You took it to a whole different perspective for yourself and
Yes.
applied it to everything that you do going forward. And I can say that in the time that I've known you, because we met during Her Story 1,
Mhm.
and there was a very because everyone in Barbados is very mild and meek and mannered, right? That's
Yes.
that's right. And that's still the case.
Mhm.
And I remember, when I just approached you, and Spirit was like, okay, you're going to be in Her Story too. And you're like, I am. And I was like, I just need your yes. And you're like, well, I don't know what was going on in your head, but it was kind of like, okay, God, I know I was asking for this, but I didn't know it was going to come like this. So, yes. It was like a real hesitant, like, yes. I don't know what I'm getting into, but okay. And then look what happened. look
There
look
we
what
go.
look what happened. It's just that when you say yes, you didn't say yes to me. You didn't say yes to this project. You said yes to
No.
you. You
Yeah.
said yes to you. And if this was the avenue to help you get to a greater yes, right?
That's
And that's
right.
what we're here for, all the women to understand. Our stories are your stories. Our yeses become your yeses. Our pathways become your clues. Success leaves clues every single time. Every
Yes.
single time. While you were talking, I kind of pulled this out, and I kind of went to page 97. I kind of went to page 97, and right before your chapter, it says, the greater the obstacle,
Wow.
the more glory in overcoming it.
Yes.
The greater the obstacle, somebody in the back of the room needs to hear that. The greater the obstacle, the more glory in overcoming it. And your chapter was how her pain gave her purpose. You want to give people a little snippet about your story?
Sure, I certainly can. So 2019, God would have told me what the theme would be for each year. He seems to be giving names for each year that I go through. So for 2019, it was suddenly. So I figured, okay, well, Lord, this is it. This is probably the year that everything's going to fall into place, and all the dreams and prayers that I have been petitioning God would actually come through. but it was definitely a year of trial, of sudden trials. Certain clients decided that, my contract was up. I mean, I understand that. Pardon me. I understand that at times. And then a couple months later, unfortunately, my brother's life was taken very, very, very tragically. And it was very difficult. But before that, basically, my marriage came to an end. And so then I had to move back in with my parents, thank God for them. And then 2 weeks later was when my brother's life was taken. So at that pivotal point, I'm thinking, okay, God, where are you? Why is this happening? I'm your child. Why are you allowing this to happen to me? So at that point, I couldn't understand what he was doing. But the thing is that having God in your life is what really serves as an anchor, which serves as a solid foundation, because when the storms do come, if you have nobody else to hold on to, you can hold on to Jesus. And literally, that's all I had to hold on to, because that was the most, can I say, um, life transforming year for me. And there was a time that I was hanging out clothes after washing them. And then I heard God speak very clearly and soundly. Your pain is going to give you purpose. And I'm like, Lord, I do not understand how losing my marriage and losing my brother in 2 weeks, within 2 weeks of each other, is going to serve as a purpose for me. But I decided, you know what? God, you have a plan. You know what's right for me. Because there's certain things I had to work through. Like, does God still love me even though I went through a divorce? Yes, He does, because I understood that He did. And then there was a point that I really was going to walk away, even after experiencing that. But thankfully, I found a church family who has been so wonderful. My pastors are wonderful, and they have been quite supportive of me. Carolyn has met them. She has gone to my church as well. And just having that relationship with God was really, really, really pivotal. So even while trying to fumble or through or trying to figure out or grasp, does really God have a purpose for me? Because I thought that marriage was the ultimate for me. And I'm not speaking against marriage, because I'm just saying that that was the ultimate goal for me at that time. Of course, I still want to get married someday. Don't get me wrong. But there was a time eventually that I would have met Carolyn, and it was through Alana, who was in the first H.E.R.Story book. And I wasn't looking for this. Oftentimes, if there are doors that are meant for me, there are often doors that I am not looking for. And I met Carolyn just to say hi. I went to her just to say hello. That's all I wanted to say. But then she told me to say yes. So I decided, you know what? I really need to let go of what I thought would have been the right plan for me and really go through with the unconventional, the unfamiliar, and really take that step of faith and walk into the purpose and plan that God had for me. So, really becoming part of this book and sharing my story and letting people know that, you know what, even after going through what I had gone through, being part of this book has really caused me to understand that this was my purpose in telling my story, in being vulnerable and being real and sharing about, you know, where would I would have come from and what I would have experienced. And at the end of the day, just to let people know that even though you may have gone through a divorce, it doesn't mean that there is an end. It's just the beginning of a new chapter or a new life that you have never ever experienced, and really God's ultimate plan at the end of the day. So I really do share a little bit about that. It was pretty concise, but I do believe and understand that that was pivotal to me understanding clearly and fully what my real purpose is. and that everything was just working together for my good, and it still is. 5 years later, 6 years later now, I can see that it was really all part of God's plan to cause everything to fall apart, to cause me to fall apart so that He can build me and reshape me into somebody who is more authentic. And I think that by me walking through what I had to go through, now I have the tools and the equipment to help those who are going through what it is that I'm going through, and so that they can go grow through it at a much more rapid pace. So I understood then it's not really about me, because a lot of the self centeredness had to go, because the temptation was, woe is me, what is this happening to me? But no, it's like I understand why it happened, but it happened for me, but it happened for others so that I can lead others into their destiny.
Wow. 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 And that's the power of her story. That's the power of it, right? It's and that's beyond this. It's just in general. That's the power of her story. And I'm going to not say, your story is her story, right? Because we're talking about that other her, someone else is out there that can resonate with our stories. Our stories are not for us, they're for someone else to be able to glean from, to be able to give them hope, to be able to give them a way for them to be able to understand, well, if they got through this, then so can I. Success leaves clues.
Oh
Success in
yeah,
your own life, it
I
leaves
love that.
clues. We're leaving clues. We're pollinating the world with all of our stories. That's the greater impact. And I said I was going to show you something. And shout out to Tanisha, from she just did an amazing workshop the other day, but she just decided to pop in. That's your BSA, from the first book. So this is what I love. And I saw Stacy. Shout out to Stacy. She had already shared it out there on her story. So the love is there. The love is there. And I'm waiting for some of the other BSAs to pop in so we can just kind of just love on them and celebrate. And thank you to all those who are watching, now on a replay. Just, put something in the chat. Let us know what you got from Melinda. Let's give her flowers as well. So, but I wanted to show you something. And I said I was going to wait because I wanted to get, I just wanted to show you something because this is going to put it all. I know you're like, what is this? What is she going to show me? This sounds like a setup. This sounds like a setup. No, it's not a setup. It's actually an amazing. It's something that when you think about it, the power of our stories and how Melinda goes global, so does her story. Look at that.
Aww.
Her story around the world,
Oh
right?
my goodness.
So when you look at it in its totality, like we can look at it in isolation, but when you're able to see, you got Alana up in the top, you have Candace, that's Barbados on here twice, right? Because we got two Bajans in the book, in the series. Then you have Candace over there, in the chair just rocking it, from Guyana, who's like I said, she's now in Canada. You have you have right there, you have Alexandria. We were talking
Yes.
about her. She's from the beautiful island of, Bahamas, the Bahamas. And she's currently in Texas right now receiving the Presidential Lifetime Achievement Award, being the first Bahamian to receive such a distinction. So congratulations to her. We're sending her much love. And it's literally happening right now as we speak in Texas. So, and she came out of her comfort zone too to go to Texas because we talked. And she was like, I got to figure out how to make this happen and I got to get there. If they're going to honor me, I'm going to show up. And so she's in Texas right now, right? And then, of course, you have over on this other side, closer to Melinda, you see a little clip of our billboard. So we had a billboard in Times Square, right? That was the second one, but we went there to go see it and loved it and enjoyed it. Then you go down and you just see Melinda right there in her amazing pink. When we had your book signing, and that was like pulling teeth. You didn't want to take any pictures, and I'm like, no, 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 no. No, 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 no. You need these. You need this. She was like, no, it's okay. And I'm like, no, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. So I know probably looking back, you're like, I'm glad I did
I'm
it.
glad. Yes.
See. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Then we have Jerry and Sydney from when we were in Atlanta. And then let me see, where are we? We got, I mean, it's so small for me. I can't even see it that much. But, then you just kind of go around and you see when we were at NAACP, you see when we were in London, you see when once again we were in Barbados, and it was, Wendy came, and, Alana was there. So our BSA's there. And then there's this other conglomerate of pictures that literally share and show all of the book signings, right? All of the book signings that occurred. And you know what? I think I'm gonna share that and show that with everybody just over the years. And I think this was all from H.E.R.Story 1, the first H.E.R.Story. So let's take a gander and see what. Look at that. Just everybody having just this time of love. No music, so we got our own music. But look at that, Alana. Look at that, Candace, Consuela. Oh, that's me. Yay. Beverly, Jerry. We got. Oh, this is going too fast. Going too fast. Tara. Okay, going too fast. But that is her story. That is her story all around the world. That's when we celebrate Authors Day. But I wanted to share that picture with you because it's literally, International Women's Day around the world. This is us. This is us. This is us. Let me see who put
Yes.
somebody. So here we go. We got Stacy in here. Stacy, you can show up. You can show up. You don't have to be in the shadows. You got the link. You can come on and join us. Happy International Women's Day from Austin metropolitan area to, and I can't read the rest of that. She said in because it's too tiny. Hold up. In Texas. Okay, how did I not see that? In Texas, so proud of you both for coming. Yes, that is your BSA sister all the way from Texas. So this is what I'm talking about. This
Stacy.
greater love that occurs, right? This greater love that occurs. Stacy, you can come on and join us. You can. So listen, don't how did listen, let's just back it up for a second. How does it feel to get this extensional love, from around the world? Melinda goes global.
It's um, it's always been my dream to be a writer. So this was also a childhood dream because my teacher would tell me, well, at primary school level, well, they call it elementary, and high school level, I was told that I had a very great gift of writing and that I should pursue it, but I totally avoided it until I had to go into entrepreneurship full time. So it's just affirming
Mm-hmm.
of my natural ability, but not just my natural ability, but just a childhood dream coming true and becoming a best-selling author. Hello, like I didn't I I didn't see that one coming, and it's just amazing. And also just to receive the love from my sisters for sure. I remember even before the book launch, like I spoke to some of them and they were encouraging me, and it was just feeling the love and just from the same women who would have gone through what they would have gone through, and just to see what God has really done for each and every single one of them. So if He could do it for them, He's going to certainly do it for me. And it just felt really blessed to be a part of a community. Not felt, I feel very blessed to be part of a community where we can affirm each other and collab with each other. Like Alana, I work with Alana closely, so we collab a lot. We collaborate a lot. So
Yeah.
it's amazing. And of course, just having you in my life, Carolyn, like to see that there was still, sorry, to see that there was still something in me, even though I felt like a part of me died. So thank you so very much.
We're
Thank
not
you.
crying today, but you're welcome.
No, we're not. You're
Today.
not.
This is a happy day. Happy we're International
Yes.
Women's Day, right? We're showing people how amazing we are. Let's continue. Stacy said, "Thank you, love you here to support today." So listen, we got your love. We got your love. We feeling it. We feeling it. Thank you for the flowers. There's Stacy. Stacy came all the way to Philly for the conference. Listen, she was
Oh,
at the NAACP. So she's like, listen, I'm here. Texas is here. Thank you. So before we go, I was waiting to see if we had a couple more because we did. They had a couple more that were going to pop on. But
okay.
sometimes the time just kind of gets a little wonky. We were going to have Risa she was actually going to join us from Scotland. So, but she's actually from the Philippines, but she's in Scotland now. So she
Oh,
was going
okay.
to connect, but I think the timing, I think the time is off. And then we were waiting for another individual, but that's okay. So that means today was your day. Today was your day, all about you to get, this to share with the world just how amazing you are, just to share, to put the spotlight on you, like what you've been up to, since then. We just heard you said you went to Dubai and how that has been a transformational journey for yourself, not just physically, but spiritually and emotionally. And so I want you to be able to share with everyone before we, and because I don't want to, belabor this today. uh
Mhm.
I want you to share with them, like, so what else have you been up to? Tell everybody, like, since then, where you're at. It's kind of like, where are they now? So let's tell everybody where you are now, and what can we expect from Melinda Goes Global? What can we expect from the Her Story 2 best-selling author, going forward, like life
Mhm.
changing, altering, being a whole BA. I don't want to say the word because I might get, the bad word, BSA traveling on her own, so tell everybody, what you up to and what can we expect from Melinda going forward.
Sure. So since then, like I mentioned earlier, collaborating with Alana and supporting her in her project. So that has been an incredible privilege. I'm known here in Barbados for finance, personal finance. So it's really about training people up to be financial leaders and to really navigate, with dynamic financial plans, because a financial plan shouldn't be static. I mean, we all go through our 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, and beyond. Or we may go from single, engaged, married, widowed in some circumstances, unfortunately, divorced in some circumstances, unfortunately. So, what's coming is that I'm really going to be producing content for that under my brand, Money Matters with Melinda. Um, Talking about financial planning, having dynamic financial plans for different life stages. So I have been busy with that in terms of, helping people. And then there's my accounting practice as well too. I help business owners with that. But then I've come to embrace can I say, the multiplicity of who I am in terms of my many gifts. So my first name is Melinda and my last name is Peter. So the name of my company group is the Empire. MP, get it, Empire. And so, really and truly, what I really am going to be working on is to really help people build their legacy, give people the tools that they would need to build their legacy. So, it's through the 3W method, and something that I have received in my life and have implemented in my life. And I am continually learning along the way in terms of living and building and leaving a legacy, in terms of knowing your worth. That's the first W. Loving your work. That's the second W. And growing your wealth, which is the third W. And what I also will be looking to do very shortly is to release
Sorry.
2 books. No, it's okay, Carolyn. Is to release 2 books, and where I actually will be sharing my story. Um, in greater detail. So it's legally single. I coined that term earlier. Legally single, how I'm figuring out my new life after divorce. And then there's also going to be a devotional being launched with that as well too. So you can be on the lookout for that. And really and truly what I want to do is to have more global experiences under my Instagram, Melinda Goes Global. So I'm thinking about Singapore. Even while Carolyn and I were talking earlier before we came on, the the country that was coming to mind now is Singapore. So I don't know, maybe I'm going there this year. We'll see. We will see. But so those are the different things that I'm looking to do for this year. Just really build out my international brand because I know there are people across the globe who are looking for me. And I just want to put myself in a position to serve and to really show up and to really ensure that people receive what it is that they have been praying for. So I consider myself getting myself in position and working on myself and becoming equipped so that the empire can really go and impact lives across the nation. So that's really what I've been up to and what's going to be coming up.
Awesome. Ooh, I love it. Sorry, I was back here playing and I just kind of flashed it in front of you. I'm sorry, my bad. I'm, I'm over here behind the scenes, but and and you said there's people out there that are looking for you and they need you, right? And that's so true. There's people out there for all of us, right? And so on this International Women's Day, I'm just so excited to see, another, this isn't an honorary, her story. I met this beautiful queen in London with the other BSAs, with Risa and with Haley and with Melinda. We were all in London. And so this is sending love all the way from St. Martin. So, Maria, thank you. I know. So happy International Women's Day to you from the Dutch Caribbean. So, yeah, so that's your sister from Barbados, you know. So, I'm just loving this. I'm loving this. I'm loving this. I'm loving this. So, as we, get ready to end, so thank you for sharing, everybody, sharing with everyone what you're up to, the Melinda now, that probably wasn't the narrative before, but it is now. And this
Yeah,
is what we're talking about, the exponential growth, in all of us when we can embrace the power of her story. Literally, it changes your life. It
yes, it
changes
does.
your life. I know it has for me. And to be connected to so many amazing queens and sisters, all around the world in every continent, literally every continent is represented by our stories, right? And
Yes.
so before we go, I just wanted to share. Now I'm ready to share. I think I am the video I was showing with you earlier. So let me see if I can pull this up. And this gives you just a little snippet. You're going to see some of our hymn stories mixed up in there, but that's okay because they're part of us as well. So it really just kind of puts it all together for such a time as this. So let me
That's
see if
right.
I can pull this up. I thought I had it ready, but that's a whole nother situation right there. But let me see if I can get this to pull up because sometimes this is a challenge with when you're doing multiple things. So let me see. Did it come up? Not yet. It's still trying to share. Of course, it's going to do this while I'm trying to go live. Of course it is. Of course it is, right? Of course it is. Well, I'll come back to it. But and oh, okay. My screen is blocked. I don't know why my screen is blocked. I should have left it up. Well, anyway, so once again, thank you so much to you, Melinda, for jumping on and for I'm look, I don't give up. Let me try this again.
That's right. We
I'm
don't
not
give up.
I don't give up. Let me try this thing again. See what's happening. See, because it's happening. It's going to
It's
happen.
happening. It's a
It's
thing and
happening.
it's gonna happen.
I'm on. Because if I got to do this thing the old fashioned way, I will. I think I will. So, you know what? That's what I'm going to do. So, as we're about to leave, so thank you once again, Melinda, for jumping on with us. And it's just like such a pleasure to know that one person, one story, one can make the difference and change a person's life. It's definitely changed and enriched my life to know you, to know Alana, to know Risa, to know Haley, to know let me start counting the ways. Alexandria, to know Marina, to know Candace, Gladwell, Sarah, Shirley, all the international queens that are part of this Her Story family. And we didn't even get into all of our folks from just the other 50 women that are part of there's 50 women, right? 50 women and 15 men that are all part of this family, and I can't wait to expand it. I can't wait. You know what's coming, right? We got Her Story 1, we
Yes.
got Her Story 2.
Story 3.
Time for 3. Time for 3. I want somebody to put in the chat, it's time for 3. It's
Yeah.
time for 3. It's time. It's time. It's definitely time when you get to see and understand the power of what this does, not just for yourself, but for your community. We were talking about too in Barbados, when we were there, when I was there, well, you're already there, when I was there a couple months ago, and we did the event with Alana, like you said, talking about collaboration. Alana, her chat, she was actually the first Caribbean in any of the Her Story. She wears that badge proudly. She will make sure she lets you know I was the first and only Caribbean in this book with all the women from around the world.
Yes.
And she's chapter 1, right? And she's chapter 1. She will let you know.
Yes.
She is chapter 1, and her chapter, let me get to her. Her chapter is, look, and I had a bookmark in it already. How about that? Rediscovering me. Rediscovering me. So what the beauty of what she has done is turned it into a conference called the
That's right.
Discovering You conference, which is, I had the pleasure to come. She's like, no, you're coming this year. So I came, I was in Barbados, and when I tell you that has so enriched my soul, so enriched my soul. There is so much work that has to be done, and all of us have been called to do it. We were just talking about how there's a difference in when you're not able to share and tell your story, when you're not in a comfortable place, to feel that it's safe to do so. Like I said, this is International Women's Day, but it's every day. Every
It
day
is.
we need to be able to empower and inspire and uplift each one of us because of the richness of our stories,
Yes.
so that way it can inspire someone else to be able to share and tell theirs. So since I can't, because for some reason things are acting wonky, I figured out a way to do the other way. So this is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna show it on my phone, and I'm gonna show
No
you
problem.
because it's just let me show it. Let me show it because I know when I showed it, Melinda was like, "Yeah, that's it. Let's see."
Yes.
God made a way. There we go in London. Yes. Here we go in New York. Okay, now that's what we're doing. See,
Mm.
that's what's happening. You see what's happening?
See what's happening. We'll keep going.
See what's happening, but that's okay. That's okay. If you go on my page, you'll find it. But it's literally it's all of us around the world. It's all of us around the world. It's all of us around the world. Listen, her story. That's all I'm gonna say. Be healed, be empowered, be resilient. Once you become that, just I am her, you are her, we are her. Thank you. And listen, go out there and do the world some justice and just sprinkle them with amazingness on your story. Melinda, thank you so much. We got a lot of hearts and chats. I can't wait to watch the replay. But this has been amazing. Thank you. I was like, I have
Dude,
to celebrate International Women's Day with my international BSAs. So shout out to all of my international BSAs. Shout out to all of my BSAs. This is your month, 25 days of her. This is the second day, because the first day I did this grand post. And then, so over the next 25 days for the rest of the month, you're going to be getting little snippets. You're going to be hearing little snippets while as I celebrate these BSAs and everything that they're doing for the world. Thank you, Melinda.
thank you too. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So stay tight. So you guys, you heard from Melinda. You heard from Melinda. You saw some of the other BSAs jump in. You already had, we had some international folks kind of join us. That's what it's about. Happy International Women's Day from me to you, from us to you. Listen, keep being amazing, keep being great, and we will see you at some time. But I want to just tell you this too before I go. As we celebrate the rest of this month with her story, as we celebrate this month with celebrating women and all the amazing things and the paths that they did pave the way for us, right? They've all paved the way for us in some way, shape, or form. I want to invite you back here next week. Same place, same time. Invite you back here next week, where I'll be bringing some of the amazing speakers that are part of the Les Brown. I said it, you heard me. Les Brown legendary speakers. I'm so excited that we're all coming together. So, speaking of coming together, that's another venture of coming together so we can share with you the power of her story. Listen, you guys, have an amazing, wonderful day. And I will see you. I will see you. I will see you. So be empowered, be inspired, and most importantly, be magnified. All right, see you guys. Bye.